What is it we have been doing? These are the objectives that we set for ourselves for this year in order to, I've been saying steady the ship, so to speak, because we do know that there's been some turmoil in the sector, but the intention this year was really just to allow us to settle, for us to reestablish our relationships with you and with all of our stakeholders regionally and internationally, to refocus on the business of the Film Commission, which allows us to promote Trinidad and Tobago as a location and get those productions coming in that can help to generate the foreign exchange, help to generate the jobs, but also help to increase the levels of experience of our crews here on the ground. And there's no doubt that the productions that come in are going to support that and help that. Under the development side, establishing the strategic plan really has been our main focus for the year. We did have some setbacks earlier in the year, but we are at a place now where we have a very committed and very experienced partner in Oldsburg SPI, whom you will hear from in a short time. And we are going to work in a collaborative way to determine what is the way forward for our sector. This is what we have done in terms of this year. As I said, we had some setbacks earlier on in the year where we had to actually repeat our tender process. So we were able to do so and got Oldsburg SPI through the government tender process. And we'll be working with them for the next 6 months on developing this plan. The plan will be launched in January 2018. We have been working on building and broadening our network of Trinidad and Tobago collaborators. And this is important because FilmTT might be leading the charge in terms of developing the sector, but we absolutely have to work with other partners in order to get this work done. So we have been strengthening our relationships with InvestTT, with ExportTT, with Exim Bank, with the University of Trinidad and Tobago, with COSTAT, who has recently, within the last year, they have started a degree program and certificate programs in film, with the Film Census Board and the work that they are doing, and also with the ministries. I think it's important to acknowledge that there's a number of us that are sitting at the table who all recognize and acknowledge the roles that we have to play in developing this sector, and we're all taking this work very seriously. We've also been working on re-establishing Trinidad and Tobago's brand in the international industry based on the changes from the previous company from TTFC into FilmTT. There was about a 2-year period where the promotions work that had been happening and that had been moving forward with my predecessor and with the predecessor company did stop. And so one of the things that we aimed to do this year was to just get the name of FilmTT back out there, especially when we were able to get confirmation that the rebate program was reinstated, which it is. We started the work of selectively getting FilmTT's and Trinidad and Tobago's name back out there. We also put out a benchmarking survey for the sector, and it's something that I will ask everyone here, if you haven't yet filled it out, to please do. I'll throw up the link at the end of the presentation, and we're going to ask that everybody fills out this survey because it is part of the data research that we have to do in order to really understand what is happening. We also put out a call for small marketing and development grants, and the main aim with this, in a year when we were not able, well, it's now been 2 years that we've not been able to invest money into productions, the goal was still to invest some money into some part of films in some way. And the way that we found to do that with the budget that we had was through the call for small marketing and development grants. And we were able to award 9 projects, $10,000 each, to go toward some aspect of their marketing and development plans for projects already in process. We've also been working on increasing our social and digital media presence, which, in the absence of marketing, advertising money, I should say, has to become, or has been, a strong part of how we've been able to get our brand back out there. Our handle, if you all don't know, is at Discover FilmTT, and we are on Facebook and Instagram. The goal really being not only to raise the profile of the organization and the work that we're doing, but also trying to give filmmakers and people who are working in the sector important information about your industry. So we're posting information about funds, we're posting information about developments in the sector all over the world. So it's a tool that we're going to be using to educate our stakeholders about our sector, as well as to promote anything that we're doing. You will find it on our social media pages. So we urge you to pay attention to those areas. We redesigned and relaunched the production directory, which is an important tool, not just for the filmmakers here to be able to access suppliers, but also it demonstrates internationally to producers anywhere in the world that, one, they can find the talent if they need it here, and two, that we are a serious nation when it comes to film production, because it's one of those things that says, here's who we have that is doing all these different services, here's their contact information, here's their details. So we encourage you also, if you have not yet filled out or added information to the production directory, we encourage you to do so. We've updated our website and ensured that it is fully up to date. All of anything that we are doing is being reflected on the website, and the production directory is also linking from our website. We have also engaged in some limited international advertising of the Trinidad and Tobago rebate program. The goal there being to kind of test the waters. We do know that we still have a lot of work to do in a developmental way on the ground, but we have taken the opportunity to promote the rebates specifically to producers that we were able to meet on specifically targeted trips. We went to LA in April to be a part of the Association of Film Commissioners International Conference and Trade Show, which allowed for the members of the association, we are a member of the association, to directly meet producers in that space and talk to them about what they have to offer. I also had opportunities to make direct presentations to some of the tax people who manage tax incentives at the major studios, and these are relationships that are only possible by continuing to build and focus on the network that we have out there. It's when we have things to say and things to do, that network is actually going to work for us. So nurturing it is actually really important. We've also been facilitating what we call one-off productions. In every year, you have a number of productions that come to Trinidad and Tobago unsolicited, and we are at about 35 right now. We were looking at about 40 for the year, and it's quite likely we'll exceed that number. And what that says to me is that there is an interest in Trinidad and Tobago as not beyond a location, is interested in what Trinidad and Tobago has to offer. And we've had productions come here from National Geographic, from the BBC, from CNN, and from a number of places. And we're going to continue. Basically, the opportunity there is to explore how can we actually be more targeted in getting more of those kinds of productions to come in. Is that actually part of what we want to focus on? Because there's a number of different kinds of productions that can come here to shoot. We have to figure out what is actually our niche. And this could be one of the things that we could continue to actually drive business into the country.